Thursday, September 29th, 2016. Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I'm going to be talking about the stock market, looking at the Dow, gold and silver, looking at the technical picture, and also the fundamentals, of course, because the fundamentals and technicals, in my opinion, have to be both considered. So I've drawn up, come up with a few charts, and I'm going to go over them. The first few charts are going to be about the Dow, gold and silver, more short term, and by that I mean like a a short term chart this year and looking at how things look. Then I'll talk about the fundamentals and the longer term view. So looking at the Dow here, this chart, the line coming through directly from left to right, that corresponds to the high on May 18th, 2015 of 18,365 or thereabouts. So as you can see, that line has been really important this year. In August, we almost broke through that line. We broke through that line beginning of August, then we went back up. Beginning of September, we almost tried to break through it and it went back up. And then a few weeks later, it went below it, dropped to 18,000. And as you can see now, we're trying to get back above that line. And there's a trend line also coming from the all-time high that was hit earlier this year at 18,669. That was August 15th. So that trend line looks like an important line too. And that's going to be in the next few days, coming weeks, between 18,400 to 18,500, I would say. And below, of course, 18,000 is going to be key support. So that's the Dow. Now we're going to go and look at the short-term picture in gold. And I've taken the daily chart here in gold coming from the beginning of the year. You can clearly see that we're in an upward trend. It's a channel, and we're right near the bottom of that channel. So, of course, unless we break through that channel below 1300, then that trend will be broken. But it looks like we've got pretty good support here. I would say anywhere between 1315, 1320 in the next few days is going to be good support. And gold definitely looks like, after it made a high for the year in the beginning of July at 1375, it does look like a consolidation to me. It doesn't look like a collapse. We have had lower highs and lower lows, but the recent low has actually been higher than the low in the beginning of September. So I guess we need to get back above 1352, which was the high earlier in September. So yeah, that's the technical picture, short-term picture for gold. Let's look now at the technical picture for silver. Trying to bring up the chart here, 1 second. So here we go, the silver chart. I put a weekly chart. It's a bit clearer. You can see that we're also upward trend in silver since the beginning of the year, and it looks like since July we've been consolidating as well, and we're quite near the support. I would say support in silver is basically strong support around 1850, and we need to get back above 20 and then 21. So those are the short-term technicals for gold and silver and the stock market. As you can see, the Dow looks like it's trying to go back up towards the top, and gold and silver are trying to bottom off, like important supports. So fundamentally, going back to 08, 09, the central banks, and I talk about central banks because I view gold and silver as monetary assets. Central banks have thrown everything into the system. They've helped governments indebt themselves. U.S. national debt has gone from 9 trillion or 8 trillion to almost 20 trillion right now, and that's just the national debt. The UK debt is doubled. We're still running huge deficits. Interest rates are at zero. Central bank balance sheets have exploded. The Fed had 800 billion in their balance sheet. Now they have 4.5 trillion. They have stopped QE, but that balance, they're going to reinvest the balance sheet. The ECB has expanded its balance sheet. The Bank of Japan, the Bank of England. So, and all we got for this has been kind of a fake recovery. And there's an interesting article from Zero Hedge in July, and it says Barack Obama will be the only president in history to never have a year of 3% GDP growth. So there you have it. We've gotten all this debt and nothing to show for it. And despite that, the Dow is up 183% from the lows in 09. So does that make sense? Not to me. So let's look at the long-term charts. First, let's look at the long-term chart in the Dow. It's a monthly chart. You can see from the low in 09, that was around 6,500. We're now 18,350 or thereabouts. So, and we've broken through, the highs of 07 comfortably, which was just above 14,000. And that's with the lowest growth ever for a president. He's never had 3% growth. And 95 million people out of the labor force, U.S. labor force participation at 40-year lows at around 62%. So, and here's the Dow, you can see that basically they're trying to keep it above last year's high, around 18,365. To me, I would be a little bit concerned about buying here. I could be wrong, we could be in the beginning of a breakout, because it looks like it's trying to break out. So it's really important to keep an eye on it, on the Dow. So now I'm going to look at the anti-Dow, or the anti-paper asset, the monetary asset that has the best track record, that should protect savers from abuse by central banks and governments. And by abuse, I mean the creating debt and paper money willy-nilly, and that's gold. So here's the long-term chart of gold going back to around 2004. In 2009, we bottomed. We had been above 1,000. We got down to around 680. That was during the crisis of 08, 09. But from 09 to 2011, you can see how gold really ran. And then since 2011, we've had a correction. And those trend lines look really interesting. We've got the top trend line coming from the high in 2011, the high in 2012, and now I've got the trend line from below as well. And we're really near both lines there, and it looks like it's trying to break out of the top line and it's holding on the bottom line. So I'd be more comfortable buying gold, looking at that chart, than buying the Dow looking at the other chart. So that's the technical and fundamentals for today for the stock market, gold and silver. Things are getting interesting. We'll see, if the financials financial powers that be and the governments of the West can keep this fiction that the economy is doing well and that they haven't created any debt and that they're solvent. In my opinion, they aren't. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, there are a few links below in the description. You can donate Bitcoins or you can donate through PayPal or Patreon. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.